created free, created me. I was brought into this world to live authentically, living my life, and it's full of freedom. Nothing in this world that I can't overcome, 'cause I'm created free, created me. I stepped out into this world with my audacity. I'm living bold and I'm full of life, 'cause I am perfectly created free. I'm loving myself, loving myself, loving myself, loving
Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome to the Created Free Podcast. I am your proud host, August Crenshaw, aka Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. And you're here because the words created free sound good, but you're working on making it more of a reality in your life. So stick around as we discuss and challenge all that we know and feel about relationships, religion, business, spirituality, emotions, and so much more. Whatever life is throwing at us, okay? It's a topic of discussion. And then watch me show how this is impacting the way that you're showing up as an entrepreneur. So we're going to be challenging authenticity, and we're going to get to the root of who we really are and what we desire, and make sure we're doing everything that we can to manifest a life that we love. All right, so let's get into it. Yeah, I'm finna start talking shit about some of y'all parents out there. Even though it's some parents that I've dealt with, a lot of y'all asses out there, this fits you. You know, a lot of you are going to be raising children that are going to grow up broke as fuck because they have a shitty mindset. And so anyhow, yeah, let me just get into this. Created Free, right? That's the name of the podcast. Well, my first question for you is, what has you in fucking bondage? And for a lot of you, guess what? It's something as simple as a fucking house. Oh my goodness. You're like, well, August, where the fuck is this coming from? So there's some children in the neighborhood that I live in. And I'm going to be honest with you. The majority of these children, they raising themselves. When they go to school, the teacher is a daycare. When they get out of school, they outside all day. And don't get it twisted, right? When I was growing up, we stayed outside a lot, right? But the neighborhood, you know, you couldn't just do anything because Miss Pruitt was across the street, you know what I'm saying? And the village took care of the children. And you got to think about it, because nowadays, people don't want you to say nothing to their kids. But I'm from the old school, and I'm going to say something to your kids. So anyhow, just bear with me. I promise you I'm going to connect all of these dots. We had been in an apartment since we moved to Atlanta. As a matter of fact, my family has been living in an apartment ever since we left St. Louis. We did the American dream thing right after my husband and I got married. We went out and we bought a house, and we made that house a home, and it was amazing. It was 3,000 square feet of bliss. Oversized 2-car garage, long ass driveway, quiet ass neighborhood, at a school my daughter loved and graduated from. But when the epiphany came for us to leave St. Louis and go to another state, I remember, even though for the most part everything went smoothly, we were like, look, you know, owning a home, I mean, people be like, you should own property because of the tax benefits. I understand that's how the tax code is written. But anywho, when we were ready to move, the ideal of being landlords or attempting to sell the property, it was a slight anchor for us. Now, we made up in our mind what we wanted, and we got what we wanted, and we moved, and we were not in a hurry to have the responsibilities of being in a house again. Because for those of you that have rented, you already know water heater go out, somebody else's problem. You know what I'm saying? AC, roof issues, all of that, somebody else's problem. And so a lot of you've actually bought houses, and some of y'all houses look like shit. They raggedy as fuck. Because you ain't even getting ready to pay anybody to, you know, fix the walls and replace the cabinets and do things of that nature, because you might have that tax write-off, but now you have a big ass child that you're responsible for taking care of. And so, we just had to challenge our belief system. Created free. First of all, you were created free. But whoever the hell you are right now, there are still pieces of you, even for the freest mofo listening to this podcast. There are still remnants of you that are shackled because so much information was put in your mind before you had an opportunity to make a decision. And so for me, owning property is an anchor. Now, for those of you that are real estate gurus out there, you'd be like, oh my God, I guess how could you say something like that? And look, first of all, just so you all do know, I have been a landlord before, and I also don't want any parts of that shit. And it's just basic stuff. Similar situation happened in the house that I was renting as well as in the house that we bought. Have you all ever had your sewer back up in the basement? Matter of fact, the sewer backed up in the basement of the house that we purchased on my fucking birthday. How about December 29th of 2010? I was looking at shit in my basement. How about because there were tree roots all around the house that I owned when I was renting it out. And I had to not only pay for somebody to come and get the stuff out, I also had to clean out the basement and sanitize. And look, there's so much shit that I was responsible for doing. I was like, oh, I don't want no parts of that. And so for me, the freedom to be able to move around, that's what I desire. I remember I had a coach ask me to write down 5 words that explain my values. And when I thought about it, I was like joy, freedom, peace, abundance, and adventure. Adventure is one of my words. And so for some people, you like the ideal of being in one home and living there for 30, 40 years and passing it on to your children. Okay, that shit sounds good. But have you seen how many young people hire companies to do estate sales and get rid of the property? They don't even really want it. It's a fucking headache. They don't even want to keep it. It's like some of you all that say, I'm starting a business and I'm going to make a lot of money and then I'm going to have something that my kids can walk into the family business. I want to be like some of these other companies that have been around for 500 years. They got old money. And then you never really checked in with your more eclectic child who may be an artist and doesn't want to do the books, for your business without even realizing it. Going back to these fucking kids. You guys are thinking that you're free because you're a fucking entrepreneur, but you are still creating shit that's supposed to be a legacy for your children, and you don't even fucking know if they want it. And most of them ain't gonna even know what to do with it because the kind of shit you talk about and the shit that you do is not really framing their mind to even take over the legacy. Now, what's crazy is what sparked me doing this podcast episode is because one of the kids in the neighborhood came to my daughter and was like, so, is your house rented? And my daughter, she ain't even got a clue. She was like, no. And just so you all know for the record, yes, I pay rent. I live in a house. So we're not apartment living anymore. I still don't want the responsibility of owning a home. However, I do want the privacy and the space that comes with being in a home. And so I can already hear people, oh my God, but if you were paying for that, how you be your mortgage and you be and you be taxing. Shut the fuck up. First of all, these kids they're not even 10 years old. Maybe the oldest is 10. So when a kid comes and says some shit like that, that lets me know that the other adults in the neighborhood are running their fucking mouth about us. And I already know they're fucking confused. Because when they leave, I'm probably in the morning to go drive to work. I got my foot. I'm just standing out in the grass, grounding. In the middle of the day, if they happen to come home or they took off because they were sick or their children weren't feeling well, my husband's outside cutting the fucking grass. Whenever they come around, we're like almost always home, or we're chilling or we're doing something, and they don't know what we do. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand how we live. They don't know what the fuck is going on, but they just know that this random family is living in this beautiful house that's on the corner, and they don't even know how the fuck we're there. They also know that whenever their kids are outside playing all day, even though these bitch ass motherfuckers have shown that they don't really care for us, because I'm the very outspoken person. Yes, Miss Raw, Real, and Relentless is her same way, even in her fucking neighborhood. They know their children are safe. Because they come around here and jump on the fucking trampoline and play all goddamn day. And one parent even had the audacity to say some crazy shit to me. And I'm like, don't nobody care what you got to say. You don't get to say anything about what I said to your child because you have not taken the time to come out and meet me. But you know your daughter or your granddaughter is at my house all day, every fucking day. So let me just make it be known that the only reason why we were having that conversation was because I went around to her house. So anywho, but my whole thing is I had to have the conversation with my daughter and say, you got to understand that broke people talk about other people. That's what people do. You don't hear me talking about the other families in the neighborhood and their ill manicured lawns and what kind of car they're driving and whether or not they're buying their home or whatever. You don't hear me talking about that, baby, because your mother is usually talking about investments or ways to increase revenue, and not just for myself, but other people as well. And so a lot of you, guess what? The white man and got everybody just fucked up. We're arguing about shit that doesn't even matter. Yes, well, the tax code is written for the homeowner. Yeah, it is. But what that little girl fails to realize is that your grandmama, she don't own her home. Let me prove it to you. If I stop paying rent at the house that I'm at, they gonna put my ass out. If she stop paying the mortgage where she at, they gonna put her ass out. The only thing is that it's gonna happen more expediently if it's a renting situation, because it's anywhere from 10, 15, no more than 30 days for the eviction process to begin. Whereas foreclosure may not start until after, a 90-day period. And that could have changed too because it's been so long since I've had a house. But here's what I do know. What's really bothering some of the people in this neighborhood, I moved into the community that I'm living in, not realizing that where all of these beautiful homes are at, a lot of it, they're rental properties. COVID, come on, y'all. COVID did motherfuckers in. So these people were living in communities with people that they knew, and there's a lot of older people here. But all of this riffraff and these random people piling up in these houses, paying rent, are coming into this neighborhood. And it's not bad, but I can definitely see where it would be more pristine. And that's just what it is. But guess what? They're stuck. Because they probably still have, I don't care if it's only 5 years, but and 9 times out of 10, because most people do HELOCs and all of that shit, they probably still got a solid 10, 15 years to pay on a house. Not to also mention, because a lot of people buy starter homes and then move and buy another home after they sell that home, you're barely halfway through paying the fucking mortgage on that house. And with the economy being how it is and it not being a good market for them to sell or blah, 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 or whatever the fuck is going on right now, they're stuck in that house. But you know what? I'm not stuck in this place. Yeah, I pay more because I'm renting. And I ain't going to lie. There is like a huge disparity between a mortgage and rent. The gap has definitely increased over the years. But freedom cost. Freedom cost. And some people would say that is stupid, but no, you put your money into things that you value. One of my values is freedom. And what I can tell you is that I don't want to own a fucking home in Atlanta. I absolutely do not. First of all, because you pay state taxes. If I'm going to I'll get a house in maybe Houston if I ever change my mind. But this city right here, it's not home to me. I'm here. And I'm doing what I'm doing, but it isn't where I'm going to stay forever. And when I get ready to pack up my bags and go wherever I'm going to go, I make the kind of money to allow me to do that. There are some people, they pay a lot less for their mortgage, but they love to collect cars. And I'm not going to sit here and say, well, that's stupid. You got a 6-car garage and, it's only you and your wife. Only 2 of you can drive at a time. And, hey, shoot your shot. Have as much shit as you want to. That's on you. And so I keep on raising my children to just make decisions. Hey, make a choice. You can do this or you can do that. And I don't even tell them, if you don't do this, this is going to happen and blah, 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 blah. Because you know what? Telling them that, how many of us, come on, parents, raise your hands. How many of you have ever raised your children? If you don't do this and you do that, it's going to be, this is going to be the outcome. And you don't even realize that your children are sitting there thinking to themselves, and I don't care. And you're thinking that they should care because it's going to make life hard. And for them, it might not be hard because they don't care about that shit. It's like my teenage daughter. I couldn't understand for the life of me why she wanted to move back to St. Louis with her dad. Well, I mean, I understand it from a heart perspective. I understand why she wanted to be with her father. But without getting into all of his personal business, the way that he lives and the way that I live, like her personal space, having her own room, there are a lot of luxuries that she lost by not being here. But that's not what she valued most at this point in her life. So I've supported her with her living with her father. And now she's about to graduate. She says she wants to come home. Then fine, baby girl, come home. And then I'm going to help you figure out whatever else you're going to figure out. I'm not going to be like, oh, you have to go to college. Oh, you have to do this. I mean, shit, I help other people make money online. Let me see. Let's take our time and really hone in on your talents and gifts and see what you really enjoy doing. And then create a path for you to make money doing that shit. And so, yeah, and I ain't gonna really talk about, these people's kids. I ain't gonna even lie. I feel sorry. I feel sorry for some of these children. It's so funny because the little girl that asked my daughter that question, she used to every day, can I come in the house? Can I come in the house? I'm not really big on that, but she was the only child I used to let come in the house. But her grandmother's so fucking ignorant. And whenever Niara would be like, well, can I come in your house? No, you can't because it's not clean right now. And I'm like, so your house is dirtier a goddamn day? That's what I said. Listen, my daughter can't go in your house. And you can't keep coming in mine. And because she keep running her mouth and saying shit, then that let me know. You're like, oh, they have a pool table. Or, oh, and they have this. And no, keep your nosy ass out. Keep your nosy ass out. So anywho, the same thing happened to you as a child. You heard adults running their mouth, talking shit about people. They were telling you what kind of decisions you should or should not make. And many of you are living an American lie. It is not your fucking American dream. And you're just doing shit because somebody told you that that's what should be done and that's how it should be. But my question for you is like, what the fuck do you want? The fuck do you want? Some of you are like, I gotta hire a maid. That's the first thing I'll do. Well, some people actually like cleaning. Just like there are maid services. Everybody that has a big house, maybe you don't want a maid. You just want to make enough money so that when you do what you do and you put your personal touches on your house, that's what you do. Oh, nobody wants to clean their house. Listen, stop doing that shit. Just stop whatever the fuck it is. Stop saying what someone does or doesn't want to do. And stop always want to go to their money mindset. Start having conversations with them and just challenge their values overall, or get to know what their values are overall, and then respect the fact that we all have the right to do it differently. So many of you all, you're making decisions in your business and you're setting financial goals based on the fact that you're going after things that you think that you should want because of what your coach said, because of what society is saying, because of what all of these other influencers are saying on these different social media platforms. When was the last time and you said, what the fuck do I want? Create the freedom that you desire in your life. Stop having petty ass conversations. Stop avoiding the conversations that you need to have with yourself. You want to make your life better, you want to make it different, then just address you. Okay? So just a random podcast, I would say. It's really not so random, right? But I'm sure somewhere in the midst of all of this, I've made you all think. I'm really interested to see what kind of thoughts popped up in your head from just listening to the dialogue. And I love it. Share it. Whatever social media platform you're on, if you're on the email list, yeah, give me your comments. I would love to know what you're thinking right now, and let's have a dialogue about it. But until the next time, I'm gonna get out of here. And for those of you that need help with your business, and you already know, go get your free gift, and I'll holler at you later. Deuces. Yes, thank you for tuning in to the Created Free podcast, but it ain't over yet, baby. Don't forget to head over to augustcrenshaw.com/gift and get your free case study. I'm hoping that you are realizing more and more how everything is connected, and this is impacting how your marketing muscle looks in your business, especially as it pertains to copy, video, and then also your sales muscle. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Share this episode with someone you know that needs it, and just stay tuned, and we'll be back to discuss another topic next week or whenever the hell I feel like it. All right, you all have a beautiful day. Deuces.